Well, my name is Kath Dolgiini, aka High Voltage. New York City's Queen of Energy and America's Queen of Energy. Now, why am I sitting here today talking with, I call Dr. Bracci Dr. B, or Dr. Buzz, because he introduced that buzzy thing so things don't hurt. But Dr. Bracci and I have become really good buddies because we have the same mindset on so many subjects involving anti-aging and health. And we both, he'll text me an article and then we kind of go off. So we just want to share some of that interaction because this is the real deal. Dr. B, I hope you don't mind tonight.
No, that's fine. That's great. I'm Stephen Bracci, Dr. Bracci. I'm a cosmetic doctor in Manhattan, and my big thing is to make people look rested and real without surgery. So I basically add injectable fillers to people's face to get their shape back and to get the architecture back so people look natural and real. And that's my work passion. My private life passion is very much shared with Voltage. Is that I think there's a lot to be said for the American system when it comes to healthy living, and specifically the way we talk about healthy life expectancy.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we have this measure in life where we measure people how long they live, but we certainly don't really take into account how well
they live.
And I don't think those two things are exactly the same, because obviously if you're living long time but you're very sick, I don't think that's really the optimal.
Because I'm taking care of my 90-year-old parents
Right.
now, I see so many things on people who didn't live the way I live.
Right.
I mean, I'm 71 years old and proud of it, and feel amazing. And, you should feel amazing. Vitality, as we get older, women, I believe, get wiser, smarter, just men too, we get more secure. All the nonsense doesn't bother you the same way. But then when you see people you love that haven't done that and they're in such pain, and it's a nightmare. But it's the country. That's why you and I we speak, weekly discussing these things.
And that was often my thoughts. One of my specialties in medicine was disability, and I did rehabilitation medicine. And I often thought about it is we have this system out there talking about how we're going to have prevention. People need access to healthcare for prevention. But more doctor's visits and more pills and more procedures are really not prevention.
Well,
they're just the opposite of prevention.
Many people don't necessarily agree, or they're not aware of what we're saying. It's not that they don't believe it. They haven't heard it in a format that's relatable, that they can understand. That's one of the things you and I have always talked about wanting to do, because our passion to help others and not see others suffer is deep.
I feel really sad when people are suffering from ill effects of bad diets, and they're my age and they're
taking care of my parents and being in this situation that I'd never really realized exactly how bad it is. And my father, I started loading him up with high quality nutrition and different things for his brain and foods, and took sugar out, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
He got much better.
Right.
My mother, because all the women in my family are morbidly obese, I'm the first one that broke the cycle. I didn't come naturally this way. I had to really work. And she, anything healthy, like a lot of people, they won't touch it. And she's just going downhill really, bad. So these things are emotional to both of us, because it hurts when I see it. And my friends that are my contemporaries, go to a high school reunion. When I went to my 40th reunion, it was almost sad, because many of the people there looked like they would have been old enough to be my parents. It doesn't run in the family. The food runs in the family.
Of course not.
The behaviors run in the family.
Of course not.
I was told because high blood pressure runs in the family that I'll have to be on medications no matter what. I'm not. I eat a very clean diet. We eat very similar. It's not complicated. Eat real food. Stay away from crap. To me, crap is calories robbed at processing. There's no nutrition. People, there are people who are sugar addicts. I was one. You have one bite, you can't stop.
And I was too.
And
I was too.
If you have that, trust me, there's no off switch once you start.
No.
But that switch is turned on by sugar or this combination.
Of course.
This is not illegal. They put it in everything. You may not even taste the sugar, but it's the chemicals in your brain chemistry. You and I go off on
this. It's totally a brain chemistry.
It's a brain chemistry thing.
They got to figure it out.
People understand alcoholism. They understand drug addiction. But if you've been sober for months and you go home for a holiday, nobody say, "Oh, come on, it's your birthday, you've got to have a little sip," or whatever.
Exactly.
But you can be off sugar for 6 months, go visit your family, and if there's anything going on, oh, come on.
Yeah,
Have
oh, come on.
They
Have a little
don't
bit.
realize.
That's the culture. You
What-
wouldn't tell that to your friend that's an alcoholic. Just
No.
have one drink.
No,
Because
you
people
know they
understand.
can't.
People understand. Because you don't do that, but with a little bit of sugar, they think it's normal. Or like, oh, he's a kid, he can have a candy bar. Come on, he's a kid. Like as if that's just a normal thing to be eating this junk all
But
day.
it's become normal. Like, I love to talk, and you and I talk about this. America's not fighting obesity; they're adjusting to it.
Exactly.
And everything is weight and diet
It is.
related.
It is.
Type 2 diabetes should not exist.
And heart disease is our major
80%.
killers. Our major killers are heart disease. I mean, that's diet related mostly.
Everything is
Is
diet.
diet related.
And this is what you and I go off all the time because this is so obvious. It's a duh factor because this has been my field. I've been
Right.
screaming, sugar addiction since the late 80s, and back then it sounded crazy because I wasn't a doctor, it really sounded crazy, but I happened to be saying it on the Today Show and a big media personality. But now it's like, how did you figure that out? And I've had many doctors and scientists because I've gotten to know many of them because they would reach out to me in different things because everybody knew, what my platform was. And they said, "But you're not a doctor or scientist. How did you figure this out so many years ago?" I said, "Well, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I was an addict." So I understood brain chemistry. And I was aware of, because I know what drugs and alcohol do, and then when I would eat anything with sugar and certain white flour foods, it was exactly the same. So I recognized
That
that
makes sense.
and build my,
It's a whole
build my platform around
It's a
that.
dopamine pathway. We release dopamine, and it's not uncommon that people that are recovering from substance abuse, alcohol and drugs, it's not uncommon that they turn to sugar as a remedy to get them through their recovery.
There's a way to do this, and again, you and I just enjoy sharing our knowledge with people and experience. So we're going to give this some more thought, come up with a wake-up thought, but it's time to evolve.
So let's do this again.
Energy up. Woo!
All right.